The wedding was perfect. That's what everyone said afterward. The flowers were beautiful, white roses and peonies, just like my daughter Emma had dreamed. The ceremony was in the garden behind the old estate, sunlight filtering through the trees in that golden late afternoon way that makes everything look like a painting. Emma was radiant in her grandmother's lace. Her father walked her down the aisle without crying until the very end, and when she said, "I do," her voice was clear and sure. I should have been happy. I should have been present. I should have been the mother who cried joyful tears and hugged her daughter and welcomed her new son-in-law into the family with an open heart. Instead, I was standing at the back of the reception hall, my phone pressed to my ear, my heart pounding, making a choice I thought was urgent and turned out to be the biggest mistake of my life. The call came during the ceremony. I felt my phone buzz in my clutch while the officiant was speaking about love and commitment. I ignored it the first time, the second time, the third time. But the fourth time I glanced at the screen. It was the hospital where I worked as a nurse manager, the number I'd told them to only use in absolute emergencies. I stepped out quietly, slipping down the side aisle while Emma and James exchanged rings. I told myself it would be quick, 1 minute, 2 at most. I'd handle whatever crisis had come up, then slip back in before anyone noticed. The call was about a staffing shortage. A nurse had called in sick for the night shift. They needed me to approve calling in someone on overtime or to come in myself if I could. "It's my daughter's wedding," I said, keeping my voice low. "I know, Carol," my assistant manager said. "I'm so sorry to bother you, but it's the ICU. We're critically short. If we don't get coverage, we might have to divert patients." I should have said no. I should have said, "Figure it out without me. This is my daughter's wedding day. I'm not available." But I didn't. I said, "Let me think. I'll call you back." I hung up and stood in the hallway of that beautiful venue, and I made a calculation. The ceremony was almost over. Cocktail hour would be an hour. Dinner would be another hour. Dancing after that. If I left right after dinner, if I just slipped out quietly, I could cover a few hours of the shift, make sure the ICU was safe, and maybe even get back before the night was over. It was a work problem. I was good at solving work problems. I could handle this. So I did what I'd been doing for 30 years. I put work first. I went back to the reception. I smiled through cocktail hour. I gave my mother of the bride speech, the one I'd practiced for weeks, about watching Emma grow from a little girl into this remarkable woman, about how proud I was, about how much I loved her. And then, right after dinner, I told my husband I had to leave. "What?" he said. "Carol, you can't be serious. It's an emergency at work. I'll be back. 2 hours, tops." "It's Emma's wedding," he said. "I know, but people's lives are at stake. I can't just..." "Your daughter's life is at stake. This day, this moment. You leave now, you can't get it back." "I'll be back before the cake," I said. I kissed his cheek. I grabbed my coat. I walked out of the reception hall while my daughter was dancing with her new husband, while the guests were laughing and celebrating, while the life I should have been present for was happening without me. I got in my car and drove to the hospital. I worked the shift. I solved the problem. I got back to the venue at 11 p.m. The reception was over. The guests were gone. The only people left were the cleanup crew and my husband, sitting alone at a table with his tie undone and a glass of whiskey in his hand. "Where's Emma?" I asked. He looked at me with an expression I'd never seen before, disappointment so deep it looked like grief. "She left," he said. "She asked where you were. I told her you had to work." She nodded. She didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just said, "Of course she did." And then she left with James for the hotel. "I'll call her," I said. "I'll explain." "She knows," he said. "That's the problem. She knows exactly why you left. Because you always leave. Because work always comes first. Because 30 years of you choosing your job over her has taught her exactly where she stands." I stood in that empty reception hall, surrounded by wilting flowers and half-empty champagne glasses, and felt the weight of what I'd done. I had missed my daughter's wedding. Not all of it, just the end, just the dancing and the cake and the send-off, just the parts that didn't seem critical in the moment. But they were critical. To her, to us, and I'd chosen work instead. That was 3 months ago. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and I'm finally understanding that some mistakes can't be fixed with an apology.
Like the time Emma was 7 and had a dance recital. I'd promised I'd be there. I'd marked it on my calendar. I told her I wouldn't miss it. Then there was an emergency at the hospital, a code blue, a patient crashing, all hands needed. I called David from the ICU and said I'd be late, maybe miss the first half, but I'd get there. I didn't get there. By the time the patient was stable, by the time I'd done all the documentation and handed off to the next shift, the recital was over. I came home to find Emma in her ballet costume, makeup smudged from crying, sitting on the couch with David. She looked at me and said, "You promised." "I know, sweetheart," I said. "I'm so sorry. There was an emergency. A patient." "There's always an emergency," she said. She was 7 years old and already understood that work would always come first. I told myself it was temporary, that once I got the promotion, once the unit was fully staffed, once things settled down, I'd have more time. But there was always another promotion, always another staffing crisis, always another reason why I was indispensable at work and could be absent at home. When Emma was 10, she stopped asking me to come to things. School plays, soccer games, parent-teacher conferences. She'd tell David, and David would go, and I'd find out about it afterward when I saw the photos. "Why didn't you tell me?" I'd ask. "You were working," she'd say, with a shrug that tried to look casual but never quite made it. When she was 13, she started calling David first when she needed something. Permission for a sleepover, help with homework, a ride to a friend's house. Always David, but never me. "I'm her mother," I said to David one night after Emma had called him at work to ask about getting her ears pierced. "Why doesn't she ask me?" "Because you're not here," he said. Not unkindly, just factually. "And when you are here, you're checking your phone every 5 minutes. She's learned not to count on you." "That's not fair," I said. "I'm providing for this family. I'm working so we can have this house, so she can have opportunities." "She doesn't need opportunities," David said. "She needs her mother." But I didn't hear him. Or I heard him and told myself he didn't understand, that someone had to be the responsible one, that my work mattered. And it did. I saved lives. I managed a critical unit. I made decisions that kept people alive. But I was letting my daughter die of neglect in slow degrees. Not her body, but the relationship between us. And I told myself it was fine because she had David, because she seemed okay, because she was doing well in school and had friends and wasn't getting in trouble. I told myself a lot of lies. When Emma was 16, she stopped trying to connect with me at all. We lived in the same house and barely spoke. I'd ask about her day. She'd say fine and disappear to her room. I'd offer to take her shopping. She'd say she was busy. I'd suggest we have a girls' day. She looked at me like I was a stranger, making an uncomfortable proposal. "She's a teenager," I told myself. "This is normal." It wasn't normal. It was the natural consequence of 16 years of me choosing work over her. She went to college across the country. I told myself it was because the school had a great program. David said it was because she wanted distance from me. We talked on the phone maybe once a month, brief, polite conversations where she answered my questions with minimal detail and never asked about my life. I flew out for Parents' Weekend her freshman year. I blocked off the whole weekend. No work calls, completely present. But on Saturday morning, there was a crisis at the hospital. A nurse had made a medication error. A patient was in distress. They needed me to walk the team through the protocol. I took the call. I spent an hour on the phone while Emma waited in the hotel lobby. When I finally came down, she said, "We can just skip today if you need to work." "No," I said, "I'm here. I'm present. Let's go." But I wasn't present. I was checking my phone. I was distracted. I was half listening while she told me about her classes, her friends, her life. At dinner, my phone rang again. I looked at it, looked at Emma. "I should take this, just in case." "Take it," she said. Her voice was flat. "I'm used to it."
I took the call. When I came back to the table, she was paying the bill. "I'm tired," she said. "I'm going back to my dorm. You can head to the airport early if you need to." "Emma, I'm sorry." "It's fine," she said. "Really, I don't know why I expected anything different." She hugged me, brief, polite, the kind of hug you give an acquaintance, and walked away. I flew home the next morning and told myself she was being dramatic, that she'd get over it, that our relationship was fine. It wasn't fine, but I couldn't see it because I didn't want to. She graduated college. I was there for the ceremony. I'd requested the day off months in advance, made sure nothing would interfere. But the night before, there was a staffing emergency. They called me at the hotel. I spent 2 hours on the phone rearranging schedules, approving overtime, solving the problem. Emma heard me through the hotel wall. In the morning, she said, "You were working last night." "Just for a bit," I said, "but I'm here now. Today is all about you." "Is it?" she asked. We took photos. We had lunch with David. We smiled. But there was a wall between us that I'd built brick by brick over 22 years, and I still didn't understand how high it had grown. She moved to the city after graduation, got a job in marketing, rented an apartment with friends, built a life. I saw her maybe 3 times a year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, maybe her birthday if it fell on a weekend and I wasn't working. Then 2 years ago, she called. "I'm seeing someone," she said. "His name is James. I think it's serious." "That's wonderful," I said. "I can't wait to meet him." "We're coming home for Easter," she said, "if that works." "Of course," I said. "I'll request the time off." I did request it, but the week before Easter, I got pulled into a hospital accreditation process. Site visits, documentation reviews, meetings that ran 12 hours a day. I told Emma I'd still be there for Easter dinner, just maybe not for the whole weekend. She and James came. I met him for exactly 2 hours, Easter dinner, rushed, where I was distracted and checking my phone because the surveyors were still on site. James was polite, kind. He asked about my work. I talked about it probably too much, grateful for a topic I understood. After dinner, Emma and James left to visit his family. "It was nice to meet you, Mrs. Bennett," James said. Emma hugged David for a long time. She hugged me briefly. "Thanks for making time," she said, and I didn't hear the edge in her voice because I didn't want to. 6 months later, she called to say they were engaged. "Oh, sweetheart," I said. "I'm so happy for you." "Thanks," she said. "We're thinking of fall wedding. Small, just family and close friends." "I'll help however I can," I said. "It's okay," she said. "James's mom is really into this stuff. She's helping with most of it." "I want to help too," I said. "Let me take you dress shopping, or we can look at venues together." "We already have the venue, and I'm going dress shopping with James's mom next week, but thanks." I should have heard it then. The door closing, the daughter who'd stopped expecting anything from me. But I told myself she was just busy, that planning a wedding is stressful, that we'd have plenty of time to bond once things calmed down. I threw myself into work. I told myself I'd make it up to her later. I'd be fully present at the wedding. I'd be the mother she deserved, just not quite yet. The wedding planning happened around me, not with me. Emma sent me updates, the date, the venue, the colors. But when I offered to help, she'd say it was handled.
David tried to tell me, "You're losing her," he said one night. "This wedding, it's your last chance to show her she matters more than your job." "I know she matters," I said. "She knows I love her." "Does she?" he asked. "When's the last time you showed her?" I didn't have an answer. The week before the wedding, I took time off, a full week. I told the hospital I was unavailable except for absolute emergencies. I went to the rehearsal dinner. I helped set up the venue. I tried to be present, to be involved. But Emma was polite and distant. She thanked me for my help the way you thank a helpful stranger. She talked to James's mother about last-minute details. She laughed with her bridesmaids. She was warm and present with everyone except me. "She's just stressed," I told myself. "After the wedding, we'll fix this." The morning of the wedding, I woke up with good intentions. I was going to be fully present. No phone calls, no distractions, just my daughter's wedding day. But old habits die hard. I kept my phone in my clutch just in case. I told myself I wouldn't look at it, but I kept it close. When it buzzed during the ceremony, I told myself I'd just glance. Just make sure it wasn't an emergency. It was an emergency. Or at least, it felt like one in the moment. And I made the choice I'd been making for 30 years. Work over family. The urgent over the important. The crisis I could solve over the relationship I should have been building. I left my daughter's wedding. And when I came back to that empty reception hall, when David told me Emma had already left, when I finally understood what I'd done, it was too late. 3 months later, Emma still won't return my calls. She replies to texts with single words. She's polite, but distant. She's treating me the way I treated her for 30 years, like an obligation, not a priority. David moved into the guest room. "Until you figure out what matters," he said. I took a leave of absence from work. My assistant manager is covering for me. The hospital's fine without me. The ICU didn't collapse. Patients are still being cared for. Turns out, I wasn't as indispensable as I thought. But my daughter was irreplaceable. And I didn't realize it until I'd already lost her. "I was working," I said. "I was providing for our family." "You were hiding," he said. "You were hiding from the hard work of being present, of being a mother. Work was easier for you because you were good at it. You knew how to manage an ICU. You didn't know how to manage a relationship with your daughter, so you just didn't." The words hit like a slap. "That's not fair," I said. "Isn't it?" he asked. "When's the last time you had a real conversation with Emma? When's the last time you knew what was going on in her life without me telling you?" I opened my mouth to answer and realized I couldn't. I know she works in marketing." "Where?" David asked. I'm not sure." "What's her favorite restaurant in the city?" he asked. I didn't know. "What's James's last name?" I felt my face go hot. Morrison? Matthews? "Mitchell," David said. "Your daughter married James Mitchell 3 months ago and you don't know his last name?" I felt sick. "I've been busy. You've been absent.
And Emma learned a long time ago to stop expecting anything from you. The wedding was just the moment she finally stopped pretending it didn't hurt. I went to work the next day, even though I was supposed to be on leave. I needed to do something, to feel useful, to escape the growing realization that David was right. My assistant manager, Jennifer, looked surprised to see me. "Carol, I thought you were taking time off." "I couldn't stay home," I said. "I need to work. What do you need me to do?" She hesitated. "We're actually fine. I've got it covered." "There must be something. Scheduling, documentation, I can help." "Carol," she said gently, "we're okay. Really. Go home, be with your family." "My family doesn't want me." The words came out before I could stop them. Jennifer's face filled with sympathy. "Are you, is this about the wedding? You heard?" I asked. "People talk," she said carefully. "I'm sorry. That must be really hard." "I made a mistake. I just need to fix it. If I can just talk to Emma." "Have you considered," Jennifer says slowly, "that maybe you can't fix it? That maybe this is something you have to live with?" "I can't accept that," I said. "Maybe you have to. I'm saying this as someone who cares about you. Sometimes we damage things beyond repair, and the kindest thing we can do is accept that and let the other person move on." "She's my daughter," I said. "I can't just let her move on." "Even if holding on is hurting her more?" she asked. I went home. I sat in the empty house. David was at work, and I was alone with the silence and the weight of what I'd done. I started going through old photos, albums when Emma was little, birthday parties I'd missed, school events where I was absent, photos where it was always David and Emma, or Emma alone, or Emma with friends. I was there in some, standing at the edge, phone in hand, half present, even in the frame. There was one from her high school graduation. The three of us, posed in front of the school, Emma in her cap and gown, David with his arm around her, and me, standing slightly apart, checking my phone even as the photo was being taken. I could see it now. The distance I'd created, the walls I'd built, the thousands of small choices that had added up to a daughter who didn't know how to trust me. I called my mother. She was 82, sharp as ever, living in a retirement community 2 states away. "Mom, Emma won't talk to me. I heard about the wedding. David called me."
"I made a mistake," I said. "How do I fix it?" She was quiet for a moment. "Terrell, do you remember when you were 16 and you got accepted to that nursing program?" "Of course," I said. "Do you remember what I told you?" she asked. I did. She'd said, "Nursing is a calling, but don't let it be your whole life. Don't let it take you away from the people who matter." "I remember," I said quietly. "And what did you do?" she asked. I let it become my whole life." "You did?" she agreed. "And I watched you do it. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you that you were missing Emma's childhood, but you didn't want to hear it. Why didn't you push harder?" I asked. "Because you're my daughter," she said. "And I love you. And sometimes loving someone means letting them make their own mistakes, even when you can see the crash coming." "What do I do now?" I asked. "You let her go," my mother said. "You stop trying to force reconciliation. You respect her boundaries, and you work on yourself.
Figure out why you made the choices you made so you don't keep making them. What if she never forgives me? I asked. Then she doesn't, my mother said. That's her right. I called a therapist. I started going twice a week. Dr. Chen was patient and direct, asking questions I didn't want to answer. Why was work safer than home? She asked in our third session. It wasn't safer. It was important. People needed me. Emma needed you too, she said. But I knew how to help patients, I said. I didn't always know how to help Emma. So you avoided the uncertainty by focusing on what you were good at, she said. I felt tears coming. I guess so. Tell me about your own mother, Dr. Chen said. What was she like when you were growing up? Present. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was always there. She made elaborate dinners and kept the house perfect. She never missed anything. How did that feel? Dr. Chen asked. I thought about it. Suffocating sometimes. She didn't have her own life. She didn't have her own identity. She was just mom. And you didn't want that. No, I wanted to be more than just a mother. I wanted to have a career, to matter in the world. And in achieving that, you swung too far the other way. You became all career and no mother. The truth of it sat in my chest like a weight. Emma needed a balance, Dr. Chen said. She needed a mother who was present, but also showed her that women can have careers. Instead, she got a mother who taught her that careers are more important than relationships. I didn't mean to teach her that. But you did, Dr. Chen said. Every time you chose work over her, you taught her that lesson. 6 weeks after the wedding, David told me he'd had lunch with Emma and James. How is she? I asked immediately. She's good. Happy. She and James are looking at houses? Did she ask about me? David hesitated. She asked if you were okay. What did you tell her? I made a mistake, I said. How do I fix it? She was quiet for a moment. Carol, do you remember when you were 16 and you got accepted to that nursing program? Of course, I said. Do you remember what I told you? She asked. I did. She'd said, nursing is a calling, but don't let it be your whole life. Don't let it take you away from the people who matter. I remember, I said quietly. And what did you do? She asked. I let it become my whole life. You did, she agreed. And I watched you do it. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you that you were missing Emma's childhood, but you didn't want to hear it. Why didn't you push harder? I asked. Because you're my daughter, she said, and I love you. And sometimes loving someone means letting them make their own mistakes, even when you can see the crash coming. What do I do now? I asked. You let her go, my mother said. You stop trying to force reconciliation. You respect her boundaries, and you work on yourself figure out why you made the choices you made so you don't keep making them. What if she never forgives me? I asked. Then she doesn't, my mother said. That's her right. I called a therapist. I started going twice a week. Dr. Chen was patient and direct, asking questions I didn't want to answer. Why was work safer than home? She asked in our third session. It wasn't safer. It was important. People needed me. Emma needed you too, she said. But I knew how to help patients, I said. I didn't always know how to help Emma. So you avoided the uncertainty by focusing on what you were good at, she said. I felt tears coming. I guess so. Tell me about your own mother, Dr. Chen said. What was she like when you were growing up? Present, I said. She was a stay-at-home mom. She was always there. She made elaborate dinners and kept the house perfect. She never missed anything. How did that feel? Dr. Chen asked. I thought about it. Suffocating sometimes? She didn't have her own life. She didn't have her own identity. She was just Mom. And you didn't want that, Dr. Chen said. No, I said. I wanted to be more than just a mother. I wanted to have a career, to matter in the world. And in achieving that, you swung too far the other way. You became all career and no mother. The truth of it sat in my chest like a weight. Emma needed a balance, Dr. Chen said. She needed a mother who was present, but also showed her that women can have careers. Instead, she got a mother who taught her that careers are more important than relationships. I didn't mean to teach her that, I said. But you did, Dr. Chen said. Every time you chose work over her, you taught her that lesson. 6 weeks after the wedding, David told me he'd had lunch with Emma and James. How is she? I asked immediately. She's good, he said. Happy. She and James are looking at houses. Did she ask about me? David hesitated. She asked if you were okay. What did you tell her?
I don't hate you, but I also don't know how to have a relationship with you. You've been more like a distant relative than a mother for most of my life, and I've built my life around that reality. James's mother has been more of a mom to me in 2 years than you've been in 30. She knows my coffee order. She knows when I'm stressed before I say anything. She shows up, not just physically, but emotionally. I don't know if we can fix this. I don't know if I want to. Right now, I need space. I need to live my life without waiting for you to disappoint me again. Maybe someday we can try, but not now. Please respect that. Emma. I read the email 20 times. I cried until I couldn't breathe. I printed it out and took it to therapy. She's right, I said to Dr. Chen, about all of it. Yes, Dr. Chen said, she is. So what do I do? I asked. You let her go, Dr. Chen said. You respect her boundaries, you work on yourself, and you accept that you can't control whether she ever comes back. I don't know how to do that, I said. You learn, Dr. Chen said, the same way you learn to be a nurse, one day at a time, one choice at a time. That night, I wrote Emma back. Dear Emma, you're right about all of it. I was absent. I was more committed to my work than to you. I taught you that you weren't a priority, and I'm so deeply sorry. I don't have excuses. I have reasons, my own issues, my own fears, my own failures, but none of them justify what I did to you. I'm in therapy. I'm learning why I made the choices I made. I'm learning to sit with discomfort instead of running to work to avoid it. But this isn't about me. It's about you.
I respect your need for space. I will not contact you unless you reach out first. I will not comment on your social media. I will not show up uninvited to your life. If and when you're ready to talk, I'll be here. And if you're never ready, I'll understand. You have every right to protect yourself from further hurt. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I'm so sorry I didn't show you that when it mattered. Mom. I sent it. And then I did the hardest thing I'd ever done. I stopped reaching out. I stopped checking her social media obsessively. I stopped asking David for updates. I let her go. Not because I didn't love her, but because the only way I could show love now was to respect the boundaries I taught her she needed. And I waited. In the silence. In the space I created between us. Hoping that someday, somehow, I might get a chance to do better. But knowing I might not. And learning to live with that. Rising conflict, complete. Type continue to begin the next section. Rising conflict, complete. Next section is turning point. Type continue to begin the next section. Turning point. 6 months passed. The hardest 6 months of my life. I kept my promise. I didn't contact Emma. I didn't check her social media. When David mentioned her, which he did carefully, watching my face, I listened but didn't ask follow-up questions. She got a promotion, he'd say. She's doing well. That's good, I'd say. And I meant it, even if I heard it secondhand.
When did we lose each other? I asked him in one session. We didn't lose each other, David said. You were never fully here to lose. It hurt, but it was true. I'm here now, I said. Are you? He asked. Or are you just here until the crisis passes and you can go back to being who you were? I don't want to be who I was, I said. Prove it, he said. So I did. I made dinner most nights. I asked about his day and actually listened. I sat with him in the evenings without checking my phone. I initiated conversations about his work, his hobbies, his life. Slowly, carefully, we found each other again. I missed you, he said one night, holding my hand on the couch. I was right here, I said. No, he said, you weren't. But you are now. 9 months after the wedding, my mother had a fall. She broke her hip and needed surgery. I flew out to be with her. In the hospital, holding her hand while she came out of anesthesia, she looked at me with cloudy eyes and said, "Is Emma here?" "No, Mom," I said. "It's me, Carol." "Where's Emma?" she asked. "I want to see Emma." "She's not here," I said. My mother's eyes focused. "Because you drove her away," she said. "The anesthesia was making her blunt. Like you almost drove David away. Like you almost drove me away." "I know," I said. "I'm sorry." "Don't apologize to me," she said. "I'm an old woman. I'll be dead soon. Apologize to the people you'll lose while they're still here." "I tried," I said. "She won't talk to me." "Then live your apology," my mother said. "Stop saying sorry and start being different." I stayed with my mother for 2 weeks while she recovered. I hired a nurse to check on her during the day, but I was there every evening. We talked more in those 2 weeks than we had in 20 years. "Why did you become supermom after Dad died?" I asked one evening. "Because I felt guilty," she said. "I'd been so lost in my grief that I'd neglected you.
I thought if I could be perfect afterward, it would make up for that year. It didn't, I said gently. She knew. You can't make up for absence with presence later. The moments you miss are gone. I missed so many moments, I said. Yes, she agreed. You did, and now you have to live with that. When I got home, David told me Emma had called. My heart leapt. What did she say? I asked. She heard about your mom's fall, he said. She wanted to make sure you were okay. She called you, I said. Not me. Yes, David said. But she asked about you. That's something. Did you tell her I was there? That I stayed with Mom? I did, he said. She seemed surprised. Instead, I wrote her a letter. Not an email, a real letter, handwritten on good paper. Dear Emma, I heard through your dad that you called to check on Grandma. Thank you for that. She's recovering well. The surgery went smoothly and she's back home with support. I spent 2 weeks with her. We talked a lot about family, about choices, about absence and presence. She told me that you can't make up for lost time. You can only do better with the time you have left. I'm not writing this to pressure you. I'm writing because I want you to know I'm learning. I'm not the same person I was at your wedding. I wish I could show you, but I understand why you need distance. I'm volunteering at a hospice now. I'm painting. I'm learning to be present. Not for you, though I hope someday you'll see it, but for me. Because I need to be a different person than the one I've been. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. But I won't push. This is your timeline, not mine. I love you, Mom. I mailed it. I didn't expect a response. 3 weeks later, I got a text. I got your letter. Thank you for respecting my boundaries. I'm glad you're working on yourself. I'm not ready to see you yet, but maybe someday. It was 12 words, but it was the first time she'd reached out to me in nearly a year. I showed it to David. What do I say back? I asked. Keep it simple, he said. Don't overdo it. I texted back. Take all the time you need. I'll be here. She didn't respond. But that night, she didn't delete my comment when I wished her happy birthday on Facebook. It was a small thing, but it felt like a door opening a crack. I didn't push it. I didn't flood her with messages. I sent a card on her birthday. Simple, heartfelt, no demands. I sent a card at Christmas. I kept living my life. Therapy, volunteering, painting, being present with David, visiting my mother. And then, on a Tuesday in March, 1 year after the wedding, my phone rang. Emma's name appeared on the screen. My hands shook as I answered. Hello? Hi, Mom. Her voice was careful, neutral. Hi, sweetheart, I said. I kept my voice calm, even though my heart was racing. She paused. I'm calling because I need to ask you something, and you can say no. Okay, I said. James's mom is having surgery next week. It's serious. She'll be in the hospital for a few days, then recovery at home. James is an only child. His dad passed away last year. We're going to take care of her, but she took a breath. I'm scared. I don't know how to care for someone after surgery, and you do. She was asking for help. My help. Professional help, not motherly help, but still. She was calling me. I'd be happy to help, I said carefully. What do you need? Could you, she paused again, could you come over and teach me what to do? What to watch for, how to help her, what's normal and what's not? I know it's awkward. I know we haven't talked, but she's important to me, and I want to do this right.
Of course, I said. When? Tomorrow, she asked. Around 2? At our house? I'll be there, I said. Thank you. This is just about helping with her care. It's not... I know. I understand. I'm happy to help. Okay, she said. I'll text you the address. Emma, I said before she could hang up. Yeah? Thank you for calling, I said. I know that wasn't easy. She was quiet for a moment. No, it wasn't. She hung up. I sat holding the phone, tears streaming down my face. David came in. Was that Emma? I said. She wants my help with James's mother. Are you going? He asked. Yes, I said, of course. This isn't reconciliation, he warned. Don't expect too much. I know, I said, but it's a start. She called. That's enough. The next day, I drove to Emma's house, the craftsman I've only seen in photos. It was beautiful, with a tidy garden and a porch swing. I parked and sat for a moment, breathing, centering myself.
I wasn't here as a mother trying to force a relationship. I was here as a nurse, sharing medical knowledge. I could do that. I could be helpful without being intrusive. I walked up and knocked. James answered. Mrs. Bennett, he said. He was polite, but not warm. Come in. Emma appeared in the hallway. She looked beautiful. Older than I remembered, hair longer, wearing jeans and a sweater that looked soft. We stood looking at each other for a long moment. Hi, I said. Hi, she said. Thank you for inviting me, I said. She nodded. Do you want tea? That will be nice, I said. We sat at her kitchen table, a small round table by a window that looked out at a garden just beginning to bloom. She made tea the way I taught her when she was small. 1 sugar, a little milk. She remembered. Tell me about your mother-in-law's surgery, I said, keeping it professional. Emma relaxed slightly. We talked about the procedure, the recovery timeline, what to watch for. I took notes for her. I drew diagrams. I explained warning signs and when to call the doctor. You're really good at this, she said. It's what I know how to do, I said. We talked for an hour. When I stood to leave, she walked me to the door. Thank you, she said. This helped. I feel less scared. You're going to do great, I said. You're caring and capable. She's lucky to have you. Emma's eyes filled with tears. That's what she says about me, she said. James's mom. That James is lucky to have me. He is, I said. She's been like a mom to me. The words hurt, but I kept my face calm. I'm glad, I said. I'm glad you have that. Emma looked at me for a long moment. She said, I got your letters, all of them. The birthday cards, Christmas. I didn't respond, but I read them. You didn't have to respond, I said. I wanted to sometimes, but I didn't know what to say. You don't have to say anything. I'm just grateful you called today. She nodded. I don't know what happens next between us. I don't know if I can forgive you. I don't know if we can be... She stopped. That's okay. You don't have to know. We can take it one day at a time, or not at all, whatever you need. Okay, she said quietly. I walked to my car. As I opened the door, Emma called from the porch. Mom? I turned. She said, thank you for coming and for not making it more than it was. Of course, I said. I drove home with tears on my face. Not tears of complete joy, We hadn't reconciled. We hadn't hugged. We hadn't said, "I love you." But she had called me Mom, and that was more than I'd had in a year. It was a crack in the wall, a small opening, a possibility. And for the first time since the wedding, I felt something I'd almost forgotten: hope. I helped Emma care for James's mother, Patricia, for 3 weeks. I went to their house every other day, checking vitals, changing dressings, teaching Emma and James how to help her move safely, what medications to give when. Patricia was gracious and kind. "You must be Emma's mother," she said the first time we met. "She's told me about you." "I'm sure she has," I said carefully. "She's a wonderful woman," Patricia said. "You raised her well." "David raised her," I said honestly. I was mostly absent. Patricia studied me with intelligent eyes. "But you're here now." "I'm trying to be," I said. Over those 3 weeks, Emma and I developed a careful rhythm. I came over, focused on Patricia's care, answered medical questions. Sometimes Emma made tea. Sometimes we sat at the kitchen table while Patricia napped and talked about small things: the garden, a book Emma was reading, a recipe she wanted to try. We didn't talk about the wedding. We didn't talk about the past. We kept things surface level, polite, manageable. But there were moments, like the afternoon Emma's hands were shaking while trying to give Patricia her medication, and I gently took the pill bottle and said, "You're doing great. It's scary at first. Take a breath." Emma breathed. "I don't want to hurt her," she said. "You won't," I said. "You're being so careful. That's what matters." "Is this what it was like?" Emma asked quietly. "Taking care of people at the hospital?" "Sometimes," I said, "but scarier because the stakes were higher and I didn't always know the patients personally." "Did you like it?" she asked. "The work?" I thought about it. I liked feeling competent. I liked solving problems. I liked the adrenaline of emergencies. I paused. But I also liked it because it was easier than being home. Emma looked at me, surprised I'd admitted it. "I'm in therapy. I'm learning to say true things, even when they're uncomfortable." "What else are you learning?" she asked. That I used work to avoid intimacy. That I was afraid of failing as a mother, so I didn't try. I worked instead, where I knew I could succeed. Emma was quiet for a long time. "I wish you'd tried," she said finally. "Me too," I said. When Patricia recovered enough to care for herself, my visits stopped. I didn't push to see Emma after that. I went back to my life. Therapy, volunteering, painting, time with David. But Emma started texting occasionally. Small things. "The roses you showed me how to prune are blooming." A photo of a meal she cooked. "Thanks for the medical advice. Patricia's doing really well." I kept my responses brief, warm, not demanding. "Beautiful roses. That looks delicious. So glad to hear it." David noticed. "She's reaching out more," he said. "A little," I said. "I'm trying not to read too much into it." "But you're hopeful," he said. Terrified and hopeful, I admitted. 2 months after Patricia's surgery, Emma called. "Are you busy Saturday?" she asked. "No," I said. My Saturdays were wide open now. "Patricia wants to have us over for lunch, to thank you for helping. She's been asking. You can say no if it's weird." "I'd love to come," I said. "Okay, noon. It's casual." I agonized over what to bring. Flowers felt too formal. Nothing felt rude. I settled on a lemon cake. Simple, homemade, the kind my mother used to make. Patricia's house was warm and filled with books and music. She greeted me at the door with a hug. "Carol, thank you for coming and for everything you did." "It was my pleasure," I said, handing her the cake. "Did you make this?" she asked. "I did," I said. "I've been learning to bake. It's not perfect, but it's lovely. Come in, come in." Emma was in the kitchen with James, setting the table. She looked up when I entered. "Hi, Mom." "Hi." We ate lunch on Patricia's screened porch. Chicken salad, fresh bread, iced tea. Patricia was a natural hostess, keeping conversation flowing, asking about my volunteer work, my painting. "Emma mentioned you're taking art classes. What do you paint?" Patricia asked. "Gardens, mostly. I'm not very good, but I'm learning to pay attention, to really see things instead of just rushing past them."
I listened, really listened. I didn't check my phone once. I asked follow-up questions. I made mental notes so I could remember the details later. When we said goodbye, Emma hugged me. It was brief and a little stiff, but it was a hug. "Can we do this again?" I asked. "Yeah," she said, "I think so." We started meeting every 2 weeks. Coffee, lunch, a walk in the park when the weather was nice. We talked about small things at first. Her job, my painting, shows we were watching. Slowly, carefully, we started sharing more. "I'm thinking about having a baby," Emma said one afternoon as we walked along the river path. "But I'm scared." "Of what?" I asked. "That I'll be like you," she said. Then, seeing my face, "Sorry, that was harsh." "It's honest," I said. "Do you think you'd prioritize work over a child?" "I don't know," she said. "I love my job. I'm good at it. What if I can't balance it?" "Then you'd be human," I said. "Emma, the difference is you're already thinking about it. You're already worried about being present. That awareness matters." "Did you worry about it?" she asked. "No," I said. "That was the problem. I didn't question my choices. I just made them and assumed they were fine." "What would you do differently?" Emma asked. I thought about it. I'd set boundaries at work. I'd say no sometimes. I'd turn off my phone at dinner. I'd prioritize the ordinary moments, not just the big events. I'd ask for help instead of trying to do everything myself and doing nothing well. Emma nodded. Patricia said something similar. "She's wise," I said. "She also said," Emma continued carefully, "that I should give you a real chance, that people who've changed deserve to be seen for who they are now, not who they were." "What do you think?" I asked. "I think I'm trying," Emma said. "This is me trying." "I know," I said, "and I'm grateful." 6 months after that first coffee, Emma invited David and me to dinner at her house. Just the 4 of us, Emma, James, David, and me. I brought flowers and the lemon cake I'd perfected. Emma made roast chicken, the recipe I'd taught her when she was in high school, one of the few meals we cooked together. "This is delicious," I said. "I remembered how you made it. Lemon and thyme?" After dinner, James and David cleaned up, a deliberate choice to give Emma and me time alone. We sat in her living room, tea in hand, the evening light soft through the windows. "I have something to tell you," Emma said. My heart jumped. "Okay." "I'm pregnant. 8 weeks. We haven't told many people yet." Tears sprang to my eyes. "Oh, Emma, congratulations!" "Thank you," she said. She was quiet for a moment. "I wanted to tell you in person, not over the phone." I'm honored, I said. I'm scared, Emma admitted, about a lot of things. But one of them is, she paused. I don't know what kind of grandmother you'll be. I don't know if you'll show up or if you'll choose work again. The words stung, but they were fair. I understand, I said. I can't promise I'll be perfect, but I can promise I'll try. I'll show up, I'll be present. And if I start to slip into old patterns, I give you permission to call me on it. I will, Emma said. What do you need from me? I asked. I need you to prove it, Emma said. Not with words, with actions, over time. Okay, I can do that.
Over the next months, I did. I went to Emma's ultrasound appointments when she invited me. I helped set up the nursery, painting walls, building furniture, folding tiny clothes. I asked questions and listened to her fears about motherhood. What if I mess up? She asked one afternoon while we assembled a crib. You will mess up, I said. Every parent does. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. You're good at this, she said, gesturing at the crib instructions we were puzzling through. I'm good at being present now, I said. I'm sorry I wasn't then. I know, Emma said. And this time, there was less anger in her voice, more acceptance. The baby came in early spring, a girl. They named her Rose after my mother. Emma called from the hospital, Mom, can you come? I drove through pre-dawn darkness with David, my heart in my throat. We arrived to find Emma exhausted but glowing, James beaming, and a tiny bundle with dark hair and Emma's nose. Meet your granddaughter, Emma said, holding Rose toward me. I took her carefully, this small, warm weight, and felt something break open in my chest. She's perfect, I whispered. She is, Emma said. I stayed at the hospital for an hour, then left so Patricia could visit. I didn't overstay. I didn't take over. I was present for what I was invited to and respected boundaries for the rest. Over the following weeks, I helped when asked. I brought meals. I held Rose so Emma could shower. I answered questions about fevers and feeding and sleep. I was useful, but not intrusive. I showed up, but didn't demand center stage. One night, when Rose was 6 weeks old, Emma called me late. Mom, I can't get her to stop crying. I've tried everything. I don't know what to do. I'm coming, I said. I drove to her house in my pajamas. Emma answered the door in tears, Rose wailing in her arms. I'm a terrible mother, she sobbed. I can't even get my baby to stop crying. You're not terrible, I said gently. I took Rose and walked with her, bouncing softly, humming low. After 15 minutes, she quieted. After 20, she slept. Emma collapsed on the couch. How did you do that? Experience, I said. And luck. Sometimes they just cry and it's not your fault. I'm so tired, Emma said. I don't know how you did this while working full time. I didn't, I admitted. Your dad did most of it. I worked and pretended that was enough. Emma looked at me. Do you regret it? She asked, working so much. Yes, I said. I regret missing you, but I can't go back and fix it. I can only be here now, for Rose, and for you, if you'll let me. Emma's eyes filled. I think I'm finally starting to forgive you. Not completely, not all the way, but I'm starting to understand that you were doing the best you could with who you were. I was, but my best wasn't good enough. I'm sorry. I know, Emma said, and I believe you. She let me stay that night, sleeping on the couch so she could rest. When Rose woke at 3 a.m., I changed her and brought her to Emma to feed, then took her back so she could sleep again. In the quiet darkness, holding my granddaughter while she slept, I felt the weight of all the moments I'd missed with Emma. The middle of the night feedings, the tiny weight in my arms, the privilege of being the one she needed. I couldn't get those moments back, but I could be present for these ones, and that would have to be enough. In the morning, Emma woke to find me rocking Rose by the window, watching the sunrise paint the garden gold. "You stayed," Emma said softly. "Of course I stayed." "Thank you," she said, "for coming, for helping, for being here." "That's what mothers do," I said. Emma smiled, small and tired and real. "Yeah, it is." And for the first time in a long time, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I was finally learning to be one. Resolution complete. Type continue to begin the next section. Ending. Rose is 2 years old now. 3 years have passed since the wedding I walked out of. 3 years since I made the mistake that broke open my life and forced me to see what I'd been refusing to see for 30 years. I can't say everything is fixed. That would be a lie. And I've learned that honesty, uncomfortable, imperfect honesty, is the only foundation worth building on. But things are better, different, real. I see Emma every week now. Sometimes it's to help with Rose, babysitting while Emma works from home, taking Rose to the park so Emma can have a few hours to herself. Sometimes it's just the two of us. Coffee, lunch, a walk along the river. We talk about real things now, not just surface pleasantries, but her fears about motherhood, her struggles with work-life balance, her marriage, her dreams. And slowly, carefully, she started asking about my life too, about my painting, my volunteer work, my therapy, my relationship with David. "Are you and Dad okay?" she asked a few months ago. "We're good," I said. "Better than we've been in years. Therapy helped, but mostly I'm just present now. I see him, I listen, I show up." That's what I'm learning with Rose, that showing up is most of it. "It is," I said. "I wish I'd learned it sooner." "Me too," she said. And there was sadness in her voice, but not anger, just the honest grief of time we can't get back. Last month was Rose's 2nd birthday. Emma threw a party in their backyard. Balloons, a small cake, family, and close friends. I came early to help set up. Patricia was there too. We worked side by side, hanging streamers, arranging food. "You're good with her," Patricia said, watching me adjust the tablecloth.
"I'm trying," I said. "It shows," Patricia said. "Emma talks about you differently now, with less pain and more, I don't know, possibility." "I don't deserve that yet," I said. "Maybe not," Patricia agreed, "but you're earning it, day by day." At the party, I stayed in the background. I didn't try to be the center of attention. I helped when needed, played with Rose when asked, took photos so Emma and James could be present. I didn't check my phone once. When Emma cut the cake, Rose smeared frosting on her face and laughed that belly laugh toddlers have. Emma looked at me across the table and smiled. A real smile, the kind that reaches the eyes. After the guests left, while James put Rose down for a nap, Emma and I cleaned up together. "Thank you for today," she said. "You were helpful without being hovering." "I'm learning boundaries," I said. "It's not natural for me yet, but I'm learning." "I noticed," Emma said. She paused, hands in soapy water. "I want to tell you something." "Okay," I said. "I've been thinking about the wedding," she said. "About that day. About what you did." My chest tightened. "Emma, let me finish," she said.
I was so angry for so long. I felt like you chose work over the most important day of my life. And you did. That's true. I nodded, not trusting my voice. But the thing is, Emma said, turning to face me, I'm starting to understand that it wasn't really about that day. It was about 30 years of the same choice, over and over. And the wedding was just the moment I finally couldn't pretend anymore that it didn't hurt. You're right, I said quietly. But the thing is, Emma said, turning to face me, you're not making that choice anymore. You haven't for 3 years. You show up now. You're present. You keep your promises. And her voice caught. I want to stop punishing you for who you were and start appreciating who you're becoming. Tears slid down my face. I don't need you to stop being angry. You have every right. I know, Emma said, but I'm tired of being angry. I want to move forward. I want Rose to know her grandmother, the grandmother you are now, not the mother you were to me. I want that too, I said. So I'm choosing to forgive you. Not all at once, not perfectly, but I'm choosing it because I think you've changed and because I don't want to carry this hurt anymore. I crossed the kitchen and hugged her, really hugged her, long and tight and full of 3 years of rebuilding, brick by careful brick. Thank you, I whispered. I promise I'll keep showing up. I promise. I know, Emma said into my shoulder. I believe you. When David and I drive home that night, I tell him about the conversation. He's forgiving you, he says, taking my hand. She's trying to, I say. That's enough. Are you forgiving yourself? He asks. I think about it. I'm trying to, I say. Some days I can. Some days I just see everything I lost. Her childhood, the moments I can't get back, the relationship we could have had. But you have a relationship now, different than it could have been, but real. Yes, I say, real. I still go to therapy, once a month now instead of weekly, but I'm still going. Dr. Chen and I talk about sustaining change, about not slipping back into old patterns, about living with regret without letting it consume me. You've done remarkable work, Dr. Chen said in our last session. I destroyed my relationship with my daughter and had to build it from scratch. That's not remarkable. That's just finally doing what I should have done 30 years ago. Both things are true, Dr. Chen said. You failed for a long time, and you've worked incredibly hard to change. Don't diminish the work because you wish you'd started sooner. I volunteer at the hospice 3 days a week now. Ruth, my first regular patient, passed away last year. Before she died, she told me, "You're different than when you started. Softer, more here." "I'm learning," I said. "Keep learning," she said. "It suits you." I've taken up watercolors. I'm still not very good, but I'm paint the garden, the river, Rose's tiny hands, Emma's profile when she's not looking. I'm learning to see, really see, the beauty in small, ordinary moments. Last week, Emma asked if I'd want to watch Rose one afternoon a week. James's mom does Tuesdays, but I need help Thursdays too. Only if you want. No pressure. "I want to," I said. "It's a commitment," Emma warned. "I'm asking you to be consistent, to show up every week. If you can't, I need to know now." "I can. I will."
"Okay," Emma said. "Thursdays, starting next week." So now, every Thursday, I go to Emma's house. I spend the afternoon with Rose. We read books and build towers and have tea parties with plastic cups. I sing her the songs I should have sung to Emma. I hold her when she's tired. I watch her sleep and feel the weight of second chances. Sometimes Emma comes home and stays for a bit. She watches me with Rose, and I can see her measuring, comparing, remembering. Sometimes there's sadness in her eyes, grief for the grandmother I could have been to her as a child if I'd been this present. I see it, and I let her feel it, and I don't make excuses. "You're good with her," Emma said last Thursday, watching me rock Rose. I have more practice now and more time, and I've learned what matters. What matters? Emma asked. This, I said, gesturing to the three of us in the small living room with the light coming through the window and Rose's soft breathing against my chest. Just this. If you had asked me 3 years ago what I thought my life would look like, I would have said successful career, respected in my field, making a difference in healthcare. I wouldn't have said paintings that aren't very good, afternoons with a toddler, slow walks with my daughter, quiet evenings with my husband, learning to be present. But this life, the one I'm building now, is more real than the one I had. The mistake I made the day Emma got married wasn't leaving the reception. That was just a symptom. The real mistake was 30 years of choosing work over presence, competence over connection, being needed over being known. I can't undo those 30 years. I can't give Emma back her childhood. I can't restore the relationship we could have had. But I can show up now. I can be present. I can choose differently, day after day, moment by moment. And slowly, carefully, Emma and I are building something new. Not a mother-daughter relationship like the ones in movies, perfect and uncomplicated, but something real, something honest, something built on who we actually are, not who we wish we'd been. Last Sunday, Emma called. "Hey, Mom," she said. "Rose and I are going to the farmer's market. Want to come?" "I'd love to," I said. We walked through the market together, 3 generations, Rose in the stroller, pointing at flowers and dogs and the sky. Emma beside me, our shoulders occasionally bumping. Me trying to stay present, to notice everything, to remember that this ordinary morning is actually extraordinary because I'm here. At the flower stand, Rose reached for yellow daisies. "Gamma," she said, her word for me. "Yes, baby," I said, kneeling down. "Pretty," she said, touching a petal. "Very pretty," I agreed. "Should we get some for Mama?" She nodded, solemn and certain. Emma smiled. "You don't have to." "I want to," I said. I bought the daisies. We walked home slowly, Rose singing a nonsense song, Emma telling me about a project at work, me listening, really listening, because this is what I do now. I show up. I pay attention. I choose presence over everything else. At Emma's house, we put the flowers in a vase. They sat on the kitchen table in a shaft of sunlight, bright and simple, and enough. "Thanks for coming today," Emma said as I was leaving. "Thank you for inviting me." "Mom," Emma said as I reached the door. I turned. "I love you," she said. The first time she'd said it in 3 years. "I love you too," I said, my voice breaking. "So much," she said. "I know. I'm starting to feel it again." I drove home with tears on my face and yellow daisies reflected in the rearview mirror, and hope sitting in my chest like a bird that had finally found a place to rest. The mistake I made the day my daughter got married cost me 3 years. It cost me trust, relationship, presence at the birth of my granddaughter. It cost me more than I can measure. But it also gave me something. It shattered the illusion that I could keep living the way I'd been living. It forced me to see what I'd been refusing to see. It made me choose. Keep being who I'd always been or become someone different. I chose different. Every day, I keep choosing different. And slowly, painfully, beautifully, my daughter is choosing to let me back in. Not to the place I was before,
That place is gone. The mother who was absent, who chose work, who broke promises, that version of me doesn't get to come back. But this version, the one who shows up, who paints badly and volunteers and rocks her granddaughter to sleep, this version is being welcomed, carefully, with boundaries, with forgiveness that is being earned one Thursday afternoon at a time. I can live with that. I can build on that. I can be grateful for that. Because the greatest gift I've been given is not forgiveness, though I'm grateful for it. It's the chance to be present, to show up, to finally be the mother I should have been all along. And this time, I'm not going to waste it. Ending complete. Excellent job. That was the final section. Thank you for listening.